Wait, there was a box in here last time. Oh, they switched it. He's coming.
Come get ya some crunchy, boy.
No! Fears. Everyone on this planet has a fear of something. Whether it be snakes, or planes, or asking your crush out and getting screenshotted 18 times! We all have things we're scared of. I'd argue, fears are good. They propel us to make decisions, walk down certain paths in life, and be wiser. Fears just allow us to be us. And as we grow, our fears grow with us. Like not wanting to tell your barber that the trim is hot booty cheeks! But when we're young, we have innocent fears, like a fear of the dentist or the boogeyman. And we have fears that just don't really carry over as we age. Like our mom finding us on our DS 10 minutes past our bedtime and beating our ass. One of these innocent, and quite frankly, dumb fears was a fear of the Bermuda Triangle. Yeah, I was scared of a triangle. And hell no, I wasn't scared of other shapes like squares and hexagons. Maybe hexagons. I thought every plane I hopped on was going over this triangle. I was begging my parents to not get on my flight. The Bermuda Triangle, it's gonna get me. We're going from DC to Texas. I should have been more worried about the fact I was on a Boeing. But this is exactly how childhood fears work. They make little sense and are largely learned by people around us and the media we consume. The whole reason I was scared of the Bermuda Triangle in the first place was because I watched one of the bajillion movies where The Rock was a dude in the jungle. And in the movie, his helicopter crashed. There were hurricane-like storms, tsunami-sized waves, and Mark Zuckerberg. It made me think that each plane going into the sky had a 50-50 chance of being squad wiped. And Percy Jackson didn't help this triangle's reputation at all, because he was a demigod who could probably talk to sharks and shit.
Hey.
And he was still feeling the wrath of the Bermuda Triangle, fighting leviathans and the Kraken. Look at the size of this whirlpool! Percy, my man, your dad is Greek Aquaman. Just get him to talk to these guys. But after this shit, why wouldn't kids be terrified of this place? The Bermuda Triangle was villainized by millions of kids, when in reality, it's probably pretty chill. And realistically, how common even is it to go to this general area? What are the chances you take a plane across here? And what business do you have being in Cockburn Town? Why is this place named like that? Was Magic Johnson here? Anyways, some other shit we are taught to fear, but it's also greatly exaggerated, was quicksand. I don't remember how or why, but everyone I've spoken to has had a fear of quicksand. It's like any kid below 12 has a quicksand fear update. But when have you ever seen quicksand? Who apart from bare damn grills is ever going to come across this Mario-ass trap? It only exists in overly dramatic movies where someone nearly drowns, but then is rescued at the last second. But back in the day, quicksand was menacing. I feel like most kids had it in their minds that one day they would face quicksand, so they'd have to be ready. It would be like trying to avoid the inevitable, facing your destiny. Most of us probably didn't even think that we'd never see it. And even less did I think that if I did see it, I could just, not walk in it. All the time I spent worrying about quicksand as a kid makes me want to jump into quicksand right now just to feel some closure. The fear that makes more sense than that is the dark. The dark was and still is scary. Because what's scarier than being alone in the dark? Not being alone in the dark. I was way too much of a bitch as a kid, and I fully thought I was gonna get dragged into oblivion if I even spent a second in the dark. I was afraid to rinse shampoo out of my hair and kept an eye open. After turning off my basement lights, I was at Mach 2 speeds. I slept with a nightlight till I was damn 16 years old. All of this because I couldn't see. If I was blind, I probably would have imploded. The dark was terrifying because of the wild imaginations we had as kids, like a monster hiding under your bed, aliens coming to abduct you, or the clothes on your chair looking like a demon. I was understanding courage during these moments because it felt like everything was out to get me. The dark was put into extra nightmare mode when I learned about these three. Basically, any creepypasta or any scary thing that existed from 2010 to 2016, all of them were horrifying to me, and probably any kid during that time too. But these three were what kept me up at night. Springtrap ruined Chuck E. Cheese, Slenderman made me scared of Kevin Durant, and Herobrine made me fearful of survival worlds. I played creative so I could fly away in case I ever saw Herobrine. Like, dumbass, just turn off your phone. I had bad experiences with these characters in my youth, and I couldn't bear the thought that they were real. It didn't help that everything during this era was somehow involved with these. All videos on YouTube were about them, and even Pixelgun had a level where I had to fight Slenderman. There was no escaping them. The YouTubers were probably swimming in money, just scaring the shit out of kids like us. I was here thinking Springtrap was going to Among Us out of vents, and Slenderman was going to come out of my closet and touch me with his tentacles. Everything that was normally scary, like the attic, basement, or garage, just became way worse when you were thinking that you could come face to face with one of these creatures. And another scary thing the internet did to me was a post on Instagram that were like, "You've been cursed. Like this image and share it, otherwise he will be in your house tonight." Why was I targeted? To be fair, I was probably too young to use that app. But basically, any creepy thing on the internet was just really scary to experience during childhood. Before the internet, kids wouldn't even be exposed to that type of scary stuff because the only way you could see horror characters would be through movies, which are age-gated. I don't know, they probably found a way around it. HD images and videos were game-changing for anyone born after 2000 and unrestricted internet access. That shit was scary. I pray for kids who have to grow up with VR horror characters. Next up, we got being on this GTA loading screen when your parents walked in. Enough said. The 2016 killer clown epidemic was hands down probably the scariest time of any kid's life. I don't know why Pennywise called in reinforcements at Halloween, but the videos and stories I heard were enough to make me pee my pants every day. The way these news sites were reporting these clowns, it made it sound like the clowns were coming after me personally! I thought every corner I walked, there was gonna be one in the bushes and grab me! Just living life itself was a fear at that point. I've never liked clowns in the first place. They've always scared me. They're so white, gleeful, and clueless. Almost like a retirement home. Like, what do clowns even have to be so happy about? You're a clown! Get a job! They just look weird. And clowns in 2016 were just scary as shit. If you were younger than 14 and weren't terrified of clowns, then you're basically John Wick. Now, everyone was scared of spiders at some point in their life. I feel like most of us weren't scared of spiders because spiders were scary. We're scared of spiders because we were taught to be scared. I used to freak out at the sight of a spider as a kid, but they're actually not that bad. They're pretty small, and I still have hope I can become Spider-Man. I think the Black Widow has caused the death of billions of spiders, because this is what caused spiders to be so scary to kids. It had a red hourglass, just basically saying, if you get bitten, your time's up. That's it, like in a Akatsuki but for spiders. Even though most of us weren't anywhere near Black Widows geographically, they still poured fear into millions of kids. This Black Widow though, had me wanting them to be my region though. Shit! Even without poison, as a kid, I thought spiders looked scary, with all their legs and all their eyes. But now, I realize we have the same enemy, the fly. So I see a spider, I evict him, and job done. No need for unnecessary violence and all. Anyways, maybe if we were all raised on Charlotte's Web instead, we'd see these spiders have a family, kids, intellect, and a beautiful home. If you're still scared of spiders, grow up. Unless you live in Australia, those spiders could probably eat you. That is an adult fear. I ain't going there! Tell me what childhood fears you guys had, and are these accurate? Please subscribe, or I'm putting this Black Widow in your bed. Anyways, thanks for watching, and bye.